Welcome, everybody. This is the House of Karma podcast, episode number 3, and I am joined today by special guest HaterzMD. You guys can find Haterz at twitch.tv/HaterzMD. That's HaterzMD. And yes, before you ask, he is an actual doctor, licensed and everything. Haterz, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Karma. I am super thrilled to be here. As a matter of fact, I am not sure if I've told you this, but you are one of the people that I really want to emulate on Twitch. So I am super happy to be here. Thank you once again for having me.
You don't get extra bonus points for buttering up the host, Haterz, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
What? Okay, fine. But facts are still facts, friend.
I appreciate that. It's awesome to have you. I'm excited for this. You and I have been planning this out for a little bit, but you have not cheated and gotten on Dead by Daylight in practice. Is that correct?
I will be 100% honest. I just logged into it right now, and I am a little bit confused as to what might be going on. But what I will say is that I do love the genre, and I'm really excited about what lies ahead. And even beyond the stream also, because this is the kind of game that's probably right up my alley.
Fantastic. That's so good. It's a bit of a nutty game. There's a lot of moments that can actually terrify you. Even though I've played the game quite a bit, it can get your blood pumping pretty hard. And when you're jumping into it for the very first time, it feels really simple, but then you start to realize how actually complex it is. And it's awesome. You're going to love it. And instead of giving you a whole tutorial to help ease your introduction into the game, we're just going to go straight into the fire. We're just going to throw you straight into the fire, and we're going to heat it up by asking you a whole bunch of questions while you're doing it so that you can't focus, and it's just going to be chaos. How's that sound?
I would have it in no other way, but I did click on one thing, and I saw some skill trees or something.
Oh, yes.
I just clicked on something so that, okay, but...
Yeah, that's called the blood web. So, yeah, you can go and fill out some points in there if you want before we start.
Be that as it may, I am ready just to jump in the fire.
Cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to go through is the fact that you are an actual doctor, went through med school and everything. What made you decide to dedicate your life to that profession and then go through all of the pain and headaches that come along with preparing to go in that direction?
Sure. One of the biggest things is the influence from my family. Not the absolute biggest thing, but one of them. I have a medical family, and we are not necessarily all physicians, but we are, let's say, inclined towards the natural sciences. And academically, I felt that it was a very natural fit as I got towards the end of high school and into pre-med, into university. I felt that this was a very natural fit for me. And this will kind of lead into a future question, but there's quite a bit that can be said for those that can get into medical school academically versus those that really have the absolute passion for patient care on a consistent basis. And maybe that was one of the things that I didn't really think about as we got going into actual medical school. And so my experience ended up being very, very different from lots of others, but to really get to the crux of your question, it boils down to a love of the subject matter versus the other kind of, and I hope that I have been able to communicate this on Twitch is the community aspect, where as a family physician, you really do end up building a community with your patients as a family doc.
Yeah.
And that was one of my passions with it, and that was ultimately what led me there.
Cool. That's awesome. All right. So while we get to the next one, go ahead and on the bottom right, there's a ready button. Go ahead and hit that so we can find a lobby. Once we get into the lobby, we have to hit ready again to start the match.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So you go through med school. Well, you go through regular school, right? And then you get into med school and you go through there. Were there any crazy moments or just like super unbelievable moments that happened while you were in med school?
There are some actually really, really funny moments, but one of the funny things that I want to mention is that you end up so the first 2 years are mostly classroom years, and then the next 2 years are clinical years. So you are kind of learning on the job, so to speak. You're not ultimately responsible for the patients, but you are working under physicians that are treating you like you are responsible, and they grade you on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will go through all the common specialties: family medicine, surgery, OBGYN, and so forth. And so one of the funniest moments, and it's just also funny because being a male and being on OBGYN for 6 weeks was interesting, because you always have the dynamic of, which I totally understand, by the way, of a female patient that does not care for male medical students, right?
Right.
Right. So there's just lots of stuff going on.
Doesn't sound great to me. Yeah.
Right. You just only want to hear from your experienced physicians. You don't feel like dealing with any medical students, particularly males. So there's always this battle with trying to learn OBGYN as a young male. Oh boy, I'm in Midwich Elementary School.
Oh yeah, you hear the sirens?
So yeah, yes I do, and I'm a little bit scared about it.
You'll be fine. It's fine.
Oh boy,
it's not important
until I get butchered by something.
Yeah, I mean that could happen, but it's fine.
Judging by how you said that, I'm guessing that maybe there's a little bit of a likelihood that I probably will rather than could. But to get into the question, I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Knocked Up, where it's a Seth Rogen movie, and he's got lots of friends, and they are in the waiting room as his girlfriend is delivering, and she walks in. Oh dear. Oh boy. As she's delivering, someone walks in the room that she doesn't expect, and she says, "Get out of here," or "Get out," something of that nature. And so, as a medical student, right, I'm trying to just hope that these female patients will want me to be in the room so that I can learn something. And I had, does that mean Karma is going down?
I may be a little bloody and hurt, but you know, overall it's fine.
I see Karma down. Yeah. So I'm kind of bouncing around from room to room that for the people that will actually want to see me as a medical student. And I walked into someone who was getting near to delivery, and she screamed at me. She looked me right in the eye and said, "Get out of here!" And I cleaned up the language quite. What the? Did I just get sniped?
You got trapped or something.
Oh, there's a bear trap.
Oh, okay. I just got farmed.
So, oh dear. So what am I? So am I trying to get away?
Yeah. You don't want him to find you.
Oh dear. Can I crouch? Yes, I can. Comment button. Oh, okay.
It's fine.
And so I just got yelled at the top of my lungs, and I was so scared that I just took off running. And I was like, well, maybe this isn't the right profession for you. And so right or wrong, that is what I was thinking at that time.
Okay. She just came in hot and was just like, okay, I'm gonna end your career right now.
I was well, the baby was maybe coming in hot, right? So he or she was coming in hot. I had designs on whether I was going to catch the baby or something of that nature, because as a medical student, if you catch a baby, that's a big deal. Like, that's like a big thing. Like, you can hang your hat on that. Like, well, I actually delivered this baby, and that's really cool. And that ended up not happening on this one. I was immediately shoot out. But to be fair to our fabulous patient, there were many others that let me learn what I had to learn, because as a family doc, you actually do need to know some of the basics of obstetrics and gynecology.
Yeah, fair enough. So clearly you've got being a real doctor and everything, you got to have the lab coat on your character, right? So.
Oh my goodness gracious! Was this by accident, or was this by?
I figured it was planned.
No, this just happened.
Oh, okay. That's just the character that it picked for you?
Yes,
Okay.
It is the haircut and all, which I really approved of.
Yeah, apparently
but
he's
I
a
didn't know if I
teacher.
had to-
He just I don't know if he's a science teacher or what, but he's got that lab looking coat.
But I didn't know if I had the time to fully customize or what. Oh wait, I can interact. Oh no, I can hide behind things.
Yeah.
Hiding in a locker.
Yeah. You can hide in there. You might not like what
Karma,
happens if he finds you though.
This is one of the games that I might not just play as a giggles thing. I might
check
play
out those
this.
skulls on the ground.
I'm a little bit frightened by them. Wait, like, are you watching me as if I?
Yeah, I can spectate you. I'm
Oh,
dead
dear.
and gone. I'm watching you from the beyond.
Oh, you actually did the voice thing too. Man, nothing made me as hype as the. Whoa! Wait a minute. Wait a second. That was. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was another player character. Do we have more players in the game?
Yeah, there's 4 total survivors that are trying to live, and 1 killer.
Something happened that was very concerning.
Yeah, what was that?
There was a large figure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if it even has a gender based on what it looked like, but it looked like it was carrying a heavy weapon of some kind, and it looked like it was not friendly.
So,
oh dear.
So how long did you actually have your general practice?
Yeah, that was roughly 4 to 5 years that I was practicing general medicine, and to be honest with you, I absolutely loved it. Oh boy, it sounds like someone else is getting absolutely crushed. Roughly 4 to 5 years, maybe actually slightly less. I will give it 3 or 4. Before I had kind of realized that maybe this isn't the absolute path that I meant to take, but I was practicing for roughly 3 to 4 years after medical school.
Okay. And then you transitioned out of the general practice and you've gone into a role at a pharmaceutical company. Is that right?
Yes, which I absolutely love, and what I really wanted to convey was that whatever you might be trained for, or whatever you might go to school for, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stick in that pattern. Certain industries are obviously going to be different than some others, but and as I alluded to in the answer to your first question, I'm one of those folks that didn't really think about what it would be like being an actual practicing physician before I went to medical school. all that I knew is that I had the skill set that would get into medical school, if that makes any sense.
That's a sweet
but
pallet that you just dropped right there.
Yeah, like, is that like, is this good, or
That's an obstacle now for the killer to
oh
yeah, so you drop that. If you drop that on top of a killer, it'll stun him so you can get away.
oh no, wait, no, this does, I don't know what's going on, but this can't possibly be a good thing.
You got
Oh,
this, dude. You got this. You're good. Just run. Just
Dude,
run.
I'm a lab coat
Just
geek.
run.
Oh,
Run
I'm
for your
hobbling
life.
around.
Run,
I'm
haters.
hobbling around.
Survive.
What if I hide?
You could try, but he's gonna get you.
Okay, he is right there. Okay. Oh, that was that was a good idea in theory. Oh dear.
Oh, this killer has no mercy. He's like, let's get this game over with.
Oh no.
So that's
I can
your.
struggle. Oh man, I was just murked right there by our friend.
Yeah. Well, welcome to your first game of Dead by Daylight.
Welcome. Thank you.
No tutorial, no
Thank
nothing.
you. Cora, that's actually I mean, pretty fun. That actually gives me a goal to shoot at.
Okay, so just a quick run through of the game now that you've seen a bit of it. The goal here is we are going to be 4 survivors going into a game and trying to get out alive as a killer is doing everything in its power to chase us down and kill us one by one. There are 5, so there's a gate that we have to power up and open in order to escape the map. And the only way we can power that gate up is by completing generators. There are 5 total generators on the map, and we have to work as a team to fix those generators and power up the gate with them. Now, as you saw, when the killer hits someone twice, they go down onto the ground and the killer can pick them up on their shoulder and throw them up onto a hook. And then if you get hooked 3 times, you're automatically dead. If you get hooked once and you stay on the hook for long enough, you're gonna die. So we have to work together as a team to balance out running away from the killer and trying to loop the killer around the map to spend as much time as possible so that the other survivors can fix the generators and get out. And when someone gets hooked or trapped or whatnot, we have to do what we can to help them out. The pallets, as you saw, is a mechanic in the game to slow a killer down. They can't vault over the pallets like we can. They have to actually break them to go through them. If you drop a pallet on top of the killer, it will stun them so that they cannot chase you and keep pursuing you. Now, the killer has a limited visibility, so a limited field of view, so you can actually trick them by like juking left and going right and things like that. But when you're sprinting, you can sprint by holding shift. When you're sprinting, it actually leaves scratch marks on the ground for the killer to follow. So it's always fun to like sprint to the left around the corner, then maybe walk to the right so that the killer thinks you went left as they're following the scratch marks.
Big brain stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
So they can hear you get into lockers. They can hear you walk through grass if they're close enough. If you heard the heartbeat pounding, that's something called the terror radius. If you're close enough to the killer, you can hear their terror radius. As they get closer, you'll hear more heart pounding and the music will get louder. What else do you need to know? If you're sprinting, you leave the scratch marks. If you sprint and vault over something, it'll trigger a loud noise and a visible thing for the killer to know your location. And then whenever you're fixing a generator or healing somebody, there will be skill checks. It'll make an audible noise. So you're gonna want to have your game sounds up quite a bit, actually. So it'll make an audible noise, and then a circle will come up, and then you have to get the needle inside of the success zone in order to complete the skill check. If you don't, you'll actually degrade your progress and slow everything down. And the killer will know where you are.
So basically, I can either let the team down heavily, or I can do my part and do the absolute best that I can.
Basically, yeah.
Oh my goodness! As if there wasn't like enough pressure as there is. Oh my gosh!
You got it.
I have to perform in the game.
All right, ready up. We're ready to rock.
Ready up. I am not gonna hide. I have the mini Eraserhead haircut.
Yes, you do.
The flat top. I'm looking good.
You got like
ready
a
to go.
vest and everything going. This guy is sharp.
Dude, I look good. My virtual me is looking mighty good.
Yeah. All right. So you go from general practice, transition to pharmaceutical company. How long have you been in that transition? How's that gone for you so far?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and that has been something that I have really tried to impart to some others that have watched me stream. Is that has been a so the transition from my point of view has been excellent. I am much happier.
You need
But
to hit
the
ready again, by the way.
Excuse me.
You got to hit ready again.
Oop,
Yeah.
there we go.
There you go.
There we go. But it is really difficult, and that's what I've tried to relay to many other people, is that there's lots of translational skills that go into going from clinical medicine into non-clinical medicine, which is working from actual practice, working for a pharmaceutical company, where the skill set is very different, and you have to be able to market yourself very differently. And I went through a lot of failures before I found successes that have made me happy.
Okay.
But what I can say is that depending on the person, so this will always be dependent on the person and their skill set, and mostly what they want to do. The transition can be easier or harder. So I really wanted this. I felt that it suited my skill set better to be able to be in non-clinical medicine. And what I mean by non-clinical medicine is that I develop medications and I make safety decisions that impact patients that will be taking X and Y drug, that you or I might be taking and we have no idea, right? So there's quite a bit of impact to be made, and but the issue is, so here's the crux of it, and here is where I think that it relates to being a Twitch partner, or whatever your goals might be for the audience that we are listening to, is everybody wants to have experience in the field that you're dealing with. And so if you're looking at jobs that are asking for a half a decade of experience, how do you market yourself if you don't have any?
Right.
And so that was the networking aspect that I had to learn, and I felt that translates very well into streaming, the networking aspect. And I will tell you this, though, the main point that I want to emphasize is that through how you write your resume, how you write your cover letters, and how you interview, while there's lots of subjectivity, as you'll be dealing with. So if you're interviewing with a handful of people or with one or two people, you're still dealing with a couple of people that are making judgments.
Come back to me.
Right?
Come back.
Oh shit. Oh dear.
She just ran right past my generator.
Is that bad?
Come back. You turn around. Turn around again. Oh, they just got a dude. It was hiding in a locker, I think.
Oh my gosh, my bad.
No, not you.
But I am, though.
You just need to find, like, your primary goal right now is to find generators and fix them so that we can get out of here.
I was hoping just to not die.
Oh, Biscuit's like it's the
that's
doctor.
A simple...
We're going up against a character called the Doctor. Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness. Here we go, head to head then.
I'm not gonna farm you, dude. Don't worry.
Well, not right now,
Suck
but
it,
maybe.
nerd.
I'm certainly not getting on your bad side, though.
All right, let's see where this guy goes. Okay, so yeah,
I'm
that's
terrified.
actually a really good point. Talking about, you know, going into professions you don't have any experience on, and it's all about like who you talk to, how you market yourself, what kind of materials you present on who you are and what you can do. Very similar to breaking into content creation, where you have to. It's not a build it and they will come kind of thing. You have to create discovery for
no.
yourself.
What? Or I'm not remarking
man.
it to you. I think there's a large figure. Oh, here we go. I've been down this road before.
All right, I just had to take him in the direction that I was going so that he didn't come after me or didn't hit our guy again.
No, but you're Johnny on the spot with what you were saying before. I was about to get mauled by this individual. Well, but I'm stuck inside of a. So, if the killer's got no sight of me, he has no idea where I might be, or so I think at this particular time, and I'm in a lower level and I hide in some kind of a locker. Is that good, or can he still come and find me based on the mechanics?
Technically, he could find you, but here's the thing: that's hiding in there is not gonna do anything. So the objective is you're at that point you're gonna kind of just lose it for the team because you're not progressing the game to any point where we need to succeed. Until we get the generators done, we're kind of dead in the water, just waiting for the killer to kill us. The longer the game goes on, the more advantage the killer has, pretty much.
Oh dear. Well, that's certainly not my intent, and
Yeah, no, you're good.
Not
There's
my
a lot.
culture. I just don't know any better.
There's so much. This game is deceptively complex. It seems simple, but there's so much to it. So you noticed in the blood web, there's a whole skill tree, right? Well, every character has 4 perks and a bunch of items they can use. Well, 1 item and then add-ons to that item. So there's a combination of builds that can make the game easier or harder for you. So, for example, the killer has a perk called barbecue and chili. And when they put someone on the hook, so they knock someone down, they get them on their shoulder, and then they go put them on a hook. If anyone is outside of their proximity of, like, I don't know, 15 meters or whatever it is, they will actually be able to see where they are. So it's difficult to get out of that.
I think that I was just knocked down.
Oh, he put you in the basement?
Oh boy, that can't be good. That's through the heart.
Really, dude? Ah!
How is it? It's giving me chances to escape, and I love that. But
Don't
there's a
struggle.
stake through my heart.
So whenever you're on the hook, there's 3 different phases. There is the initial phase when you first get on the hook, and then there is once you're on there for long enough, you go through half your meter. Then you get into what's called a struggle phase, and that's where the spikes are coming through and they're gonna try and kill you, and you have to actually struggle, and you have to time that carefully. You have to pretty much keep the same cadence all the time.
Boy.
And then the third phase
ask,
is
friend.
you're dead.
Oh, I think that I'm really good at the third phase.
Yeah. Well, we had one
I'm
guy
really good.
disconnect. We had he disconnected really early, and that hurts us a lot. One, it gives the killer fewer targets to have to spread out to and try and kill. So it just makes us get targeted easier more often.
I was in some major trouble there though, and I was in that was bad.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I'm pretty much dead. I don't think there's any way of me getting out of this. Ah, I hate this guy. I hate him so much. So now I'm just trying to loop this killer around as long as possible. so that I can give the other person a chance to try and fix the generators to try and hope to have an opportunity to win this game. But until I snap out of this stupid thing, there's not going to be a whole lot I can do.
Well, if anyone can, I'm absolutely counting on you, Karma.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Don't count on me for anything in this game. He's all the way on the other side of the map. Ah, he actually went that way. What a jerk.
The guy, the killer is shockingly fast. He moves around very quickly, but I did sprint past him numerous times where he didn't get a hold of me physically, but if I knew where I was going or if I knew what I was doing, maybe I could have gotten away or kind of gotten to the goal that we were looking for. But I would really like to get a hold of this game more and see what we can do with it.
What is happening? Bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the reason why sometimes you will try you try your best to make sense of it, but you can't. But the killer will be right next to you and won't see you, and it's because they have such a small field of view that you can't even, like, you don't even know until you play killer how little they can actually see.
Whoa, you can play killer?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. That's a person that we're playing against. It's not like an AI or anything.
Oh, do we know who that person is?
No. I mean,
It's
unless
just a
someone
guy
was like
or
at
gal.
our same type of rank and were queuing up at the same time we were, I doubt it. Which people watching this on the live stream could try and do that. I don't know if it would succeed very well. But you can play games, like you can play custom games like called Kill Your Friends, where 5 people can get in and they can, one person can play killer while the other 4 are playing survivor.
Well, what I noticed is that this game has quite a few DLCs, and a few of them were named after Silent Hill, and Silent Hill is probably my my favorite survivor horror genre or series that I've had.
Okay.
And that's oh my goodness, yeah, like those have dated back to like PS1, PS2, maybe previously, where those have been some of the most fun single player experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. So they have they have quite
awesome
a few
games.
licensed killers, actually. They've got Freddy Krueger, they've got Michael Myers, they've got Amanda from Saw, they've got Ghostface from Scream. Yeah, there's a bunch of that.
Oh, that is awesome. So I did get them all because I assumed that I would really like the genre and that I would like the game and I would like to know more about it. But at the same time, I wanted to jump onto your show not knowing much so that you would get the experience that, like, okay, so this guy has no idea what he's doing. Here he is.
Yeah. So
It is.
So we played with the Priesticles last week, or I guess that was Tuesday. And it was hilarious because, one, he doesn't do well with horror. He even admits it himself that he doesn't do very well with horror games, and he had never played this before, so he had no clue what to expect. And it was a great time.
I'm sure. Well, first of all, Priest is an absolutely fabulous human being, generally. Second of all, this is a great genre. So if you get the right personality and the right genre, you will be exploding in an absolute perfect time.
Oh my gosh, he found me!
Oh no.
Yep, I'm screwed.
I don't believe that. I think that you can get out of this.
I don't know, man.
Believe it, it'll manifest, friend.
I need this other person to do the freaking generator. I don't know.
Oh no! Like, is that where I failed? I tried.
Don't see me. Don't see me. How did he not see? What? my gosh. Okay. Anyway, okay, so let's get back. We were talking about.
You can do it, friend.
Oh, he's about to get me. He's coming. Oh, he's right
There you
behind
go.
me and I didn't know. All right, last survivor. Anyway, so we're talking about, you know, completely switching careers. You went from doctor, license, general practicing to pharmaceutical rep, and that requires that was my first hook. That requires a whole lot of direction shift, and you've got to, you know, create your resumes, you got to talk to people, you got to network and all that stuff. Very similar to starting new in content creation. There's a lot of people out there in the world that believe if they start something brand new in content creation, whether it's creating YouTube videos or streaming, that all they'll have to do is just do it and be consistent and everything will be hunky-dory and an audience will come. And I think there's a lot of those who have done it for a few months have realized that's actually not something that will happen very often.
Yeah, you raise that's a very, very loaded topic, and that's an excellent question. Have we lost connection? Wait a second. First of all, am I so bad that we're no longer in the same party because you have decided that I shouldn't be in the same party?
Are you spectating someone?
No, but it said that I got disconnected and I'm back at the main menu, and I thought that maybe Karma felt it.
Oh, no, I'm still in the game.
Maybe I'm on Karma's show and Karma decided that I'm just not there, so here I go.
No, I'm still in that same game. You must have, it must have just disconnected you. That'll happen sometimes.
Yeah, so, well, for one or two things, I'm not a rep, I'm a developer. So
okay.
Basically, any medications that anybody takes on a consistent basis, there are lots of people that oversee what goes into the drug label, to who is safe to take that particular medication, who is not. I'm one of those people that kind of makes that choice as to what goes into the drug label, whether it be something as you know, simple as, say, like a Flonase nose spray, which lots of us take. I'm like a walking allergy, by the way, so I have allergies year round. I'm one of those people that makes the choices as to whether this will be safe to be going to market or it's not going to be safe to go to market. And they need physicians to make that choice. So that's kind of where I fit in.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so whether you realize it or not, I'm one of the people that might be making a impact on your health, and that's honestly where I really think that it's interesting, that I can come from. But to get to your question though, where you want to relate it to up and coming streamers or up and coming creators. Absolutely, yeah. You know, what I didn't expand upon is how many failures I had before I got the position that I really wanted, and there was at least 100. And I know this because my wife and I started counting them. And it became kind of an ongoing meme in our household where we would understand that, yes, you are looking for positions that want 5 to 10 years of experience, or maybe more, or maybe slightly less, depending on the job. But you have to market yourself as qualified. And so, do you have the translatable skills? Can you prove in some other area that you have the skills that are necessary? And that's what I've tried to emphasize on a couple of other areas in my stream and some other things, is that most of us will have many more failures before we succeed, whether it's the number of times that you apply for partnership or whatever kind of goal that you have. it is very applicable, the journey that I have gone from clinical medicine to non-clinical medicine, which is which you have to market yourself very, very differently, and you have to be very different. It's very applicable to what you and I are actually doing now. So it's an absolutely fabulous question and a fabulous topic that we could honestly debate for hours and hours.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. 100%. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy game. This killer was nutty. He was a little blind when he was looking for things. All right, let's get. You've been waiting long enough. You've been waiting long enough. Let's get you into another game. All right, let's get you back in here. Yeah, 100.
As bad as I am.
100. So legitimately 100 opportunities that you applied for. Is that what you're saying?
Over 100.
Over.
Yes, and we
100.
And that was before I started cataloging them. Yes.
Wow.
And not only did I log them, but I logged the person that I interviewed with, the recruiter that I talked to, and when you're looking for jobs, I'm not sure as all of those that have had the experiences out there, you may or may not get feedback on where the breakdown happened or why you didn't get hired. But on those that I did get the feedback on, I logged what the feedback was. So if I did get the feedback, I noted what the feedback was, and I implemented that feedback into my next one.
That's actually a really good way to go about it.
It is humbling, but in the end, I think that it is really, really worth it. Which whatever goal that you have, and as I mentioned to you, this was somewhat private, but I don't have an issue mentioning it publicly. I don't think that you do either, based on the nature. But you are someone that I emulate, as we have some, just a similar life circumstances where I have goals, you have achieved, you have gotten to those goals. I will reach out to that person and say, hey, what kind of experiences did you have? If you wouldn't mind sharing with me, what did you experience? What can I expect, etc. And it really doesn't matter if it's in streaming or if it's in medicine or whatever career that you might be in. The skills translate over.
Yep.
And I feel very, very strongly about that. And I feel very strongly about reaching out to mentors, or to people that to people that have been there, to people that you trust. Oh boy. And speaking of people that you trust, I would not trust me as being useful in this game, but I want to be.
Try and repair this generator with us so that you can figure out how that mechanic works.
But there's a chest right here.
Always going for the loot.
Leave it?
You can get the loot, it's fine.
No, I'm a team guy.
So come over to one of the sides of the generator and it'll have the M1 Q on there.
Oh,
Are we playing the doctor again?
I'm repairing.
Oh, 2 failed skill checks. Here he comes. Have fun. You guys will love him. He's super nice. He's a doctor. He's a real doctor, unlike that Zed guy.
No. Do I have like a mini map to see my red dots following me?
Nope.
Oh no.
Good luck.
Oh, no one's following me.
Yeah, having a mentor is extremely helpful. There's a lot of people that want to do things on their own and everything, and that's admirable, but it slows down the process so much. Why not learn the lessons of others and go about things your way, but also with the knowledge of what hasn't worked for other people? So that's a really important way.
One of the things, though, that I think is a relatively new streamer or creator, though, is kind of how to go about that, right? Like, you really want to be able to offer something to someone else, but yet you want to be able to get the advice or the knowledge from someone who has been there, and and so sometimes it can feel like a one-sided affair, but I feel like it just comes from a genuine personality where I found a chest. Oh, dude, I have the feeling that as I'm about to answer a genuine question, I'm about to have some very serious issues. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yeah, that, and I think that where the networking aspect comes into play is that you reach out to those that you trust and that have been there, but those that maybe you also feel that you can give back to. And if you have a selfless nature, right? Like and everyone's got different reasons for streaming. Mine is to bring a community aspect to streaming. Oh no, I just got next. No!
Uh-oh.
I'm getting picked up by this guy.
He's carrying you away.
No!
I hate this killer. He's such a pain in the butt.
Dude, I can wiggle, but like I'm pushing the A and D buttons, but the progress bar goes so slow.
Yeah, it's hard to wiggle out.
Oh, I got hung by a...
So now just stay there until someone comes to rescue you. If it takes too long, you'll go into a struggle phase, but don't try and escape yourself.
Just do not struggle.
Yeah, there's a...
Yeah, oh, someone's helping me. Woo! I just ran right past the killer. Thank you for the teammate. Yeah, you know, but you know, I think that oh, I just got...
He just
he's
it ruined your day a little bit.
Oh no. Here I go.
On your own? Here you go again on your own?
I guess, boy, am I letting down the team badly here.
It's actually not too bad because he's spending time with you, so the rest of us are able to do generators. If you notice, we've had 3 of them completed and we have 2 left.
So you're cool with the fact that I'm a sacrificial lamb?
Yeah.
Which I respect the honesty. Oh boy, I think I'm dead.
Just keep struggling. Don't let it go away. Stay on that hook. Oh, nope.
I think I'm...
So whenever you're in that struggle phase, you need to hit the button in a pretty consistent basis. So you gotta like make sure the timing's good. Dang it, I'm in a bad spot.
But you know, to get to your question though, you know, networking is a fine line where I think that you can relate it to the people that you are looking up to and not feel completely selfish at the same time, right? And I think that that's a skill that is learned, and I think that is one that hopefully I can impart to some other streamers that have maybe not have had as much experience as I would have to guess that our average audience is younger than I am, and you know, I haven't really been shy about my age. I'm a 40-year-old dude, and have had lots of job experiences and life experiences where you know, not all of them will be successful, and you'll be in a position where you want help from people that you think that you might not be able to offer them something immediately, but you might be able to in the future. So that's what networking is all about. But I think that the key part of networking is that you give back to the community and that you honor your word, right? So if whatever your theme is, that you honor the word and that you follow through with what you'll say that you're going to do. And whether it's medicine or whether it's streaming or whatever kind of a job profession, that you will probably be successful if you follow that general roadmap.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about like networking and everything, one of the people that I follow a lot of content from and take a lot of advice from is Gary Vaynerchuk. And I don't know if you've spent much time with his podcasts or shows or any of his social content. One of the things that he always talks about is, just if you want to do something, like do it, just go. If you want to get someone to work with you on something, just ask them. And if they say no, they say no, and that's something you probably don't want to work with anyway. And if they say yes, great, then go after it. But don't be afraid to ask people for things. So if you want a streaming mentor, if you want a YouTube mentor, just straight up ask somebody and see if they're willing to help you out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And lots of these aspects that we are talking about, one of the biggest fears or the biggest issues that we have is a fear of I'm going to emphasize this, quote, failure. Being told no by someone doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you didn't maybe get that avenue that you were pursuing right then. So there's most people that are wildly successful in life, or not necessarily wildly, but successful in life or whatever kind of industry, have had lots of rejections or failures that they maybe have never told you about. And I just want to emphasize that as we go into the grind of what streaming might be like, whatever your goals are like, whether it's affiliate, partner, or whatever you want to achieve, most of us deal with difficulties, rejections, and as long as you believe in your content, believe in your core values, and I have gotten that from lots of other people. It's just you organize your content to project your core values. If you do that, then I think that you are wildly successful. Whether you reach a certain viewership threshold or you don't. So that's just my own personal opinion, but those are the values that I kind of go by.
Definitely. So is there anyone that you're working with these days that you're able to share your gaming hobbies with?
Yes, quite a few actually. So many that are hard to name, but I will name a few that have had a really big impression on me, that I can share them with. My brother-in-law, or I don't know what you call it, my ex-brother-in-law from my ex-wife, her brother. He's a hardcore gamer, and he's on Twitch, and he will come into my stream, and he will. Now he's not a big Borderlands fan, but there are lots of other people that I have met on Twitch that have had such a big impact, that are so many to name. But I do want to mention a few people, and whether we have time to go into them or we don't, that is fine. But I want to mention Scapular Week 87, my brother-in-law, Craig, who we won't mention his last name, Newt Mad, and also Moxie. Those are people that I would say that I share my gaming experience with, that have meant a heck of a lot into my overall experience on Twitch, and we do share that. But as we all get older and we have our families and we have lots of other stuff, it's hard to coordinate gaming schedules and other things. But I know that if we really wanted to, that we would be able to set up anything that we would like to if we were kids. But now that we're all, or many of us are, like, middle-aged men, it is hard to do so. But there's lots of people that I share it with and that have been really big inspirations.
Definitely. It's great to have those people, and there's a lot of them. I think for everybody, which is freaking cool. It's always good to have examples of people that are doing things and doing them well. As long as you understand that like they're them and you are you, and there's things that you have to do your way, then I think you'd be great to go. So now that we've kind of gotten through that, do you have any like really good advice for gamers in regards to keeping healthy and trying to do that while maybe even maintaining a busy stream schedule, work schedule, some just general health tips that all gamers should abide by?
Yes, I do. That's an excellent question. The biggest one, and I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Wolf, the wife of Psychotic Wolf. Not that I want her to be known by that necessarily, as Mrs. Wolf has made her own name, and she is excellent at what she does. But she has recently put out an excellent video on your sleep wake cycle. But one thing that I have noticed from a physician standpoint and from a gamer standpoint is that lots of those that have gone full-time streaming may have a tendency to get into a different sleep-wake cycle. And granted, there are many of us that are at various different stages of life, and some of us have families and some of us don't, and whatever responsibilities that you have, as long as you can come up with a sleep wake cycle that will allow you to achieve what you want to achieve, then I think that you have done very well. And you know, just to give you a couple of different opinions, we've had, you know, different people that advocate a 20 to 30-minute nap. Some advocate like an hour nap every day. We've had some presidents of the U.S. that you know, nap every day. That doesn't work for me personally, but it does for many other people. So there is some experimentation that you have to have there with your sleep wake cycle, but especially if you're full time and you might not. And see, one of the things that I feel helps keep me accountable is that I have somewhere that I have to get up to and that I have to show up to every single day. If you don't necessarily have that, you know, and you feel like you're free floating, if you can instill the accountability into your sleep wake cycle, it has such a big effect on your mental health and your overall physical health that I think that it's worth mentioning. And I mentioned Mrs. Wolf because she has recently put out an excellent video on your sleep wake cycle for streamers. And to be slightly out of the box, as all of us that love video games, you know, video games for the most part are sedentary in nature. Not every single one. As one of my favorite games, Dark Souls, or my favorite, you know, genres, I have seen people beat the game on a DDR pad and they dance and they do their whole thing to a dancing pad, and they are actively moving. But for most of us, right, it's a sedentary thing. Instead of going down the route of you need physical activity, we all know that, you know, that we need that. What I want to go into is that we can largely, and I'm not going to say this as a blanket statement, but we can largely choose how we think. We can largely choose how we respond to whatever stimuli happen to us. So if you are streaming and you experience something negative happen to you, you can choose to go into a shell, you can choose to quit, you can choose many, many different things. Or you can choose to say, hey, you know, X and Y person is whatever, I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to do it with absolute confidence that I can do. I view your mental status as a vital sign, like your blood pressure, your heart rate, temperature, or anything else. If um, so, you can almost pretty much be whoever you want to be as a choice. It's a little bit of a blanket statement, but I would say that my advice is that for the up and coming streamers, or for someone that gets any kind of negative feedback, that you just believe in your craft and you choose to aspects of it, and you don't always have to focus on the bad aspects of it, especially if you get a downvote on YouTube or whatever kind of metric that you choose. um, I, I think that you can move on beyond that, and you can proceed in spite of that, which is courage, right? So, those are my two biggest things. But for my own personal health, I would never sacrifice my sleep-wake cycle, and I would never choose to respond in a very, very bad way to someone that, quote, doesn't like me. So that's what I would really impose on to anybody else.
Nice. Yeah. So I have a love-hate relationship with sleep. I hate it. I hate it. You're just laying there unconscious, getting rest. It's annoying. To me, it's just a waste of time. But your body needs it, so you have to get it. So you got to have a good schedule. You've got to take care of yourself that way. So if you can sleep enough, you should. You should definitely try to do so, whether that's, getting a full X amount of sleep, or getting, partial and then taking naps throughout the day, which naps just make me feel terrible. I don't know if you're a napper or not, but I am certainly not a napper at all.
I do, yeah. And that's honestly the advice. So first of all, whatever I say here is not real medical advice. I am not going to give that via any medium other than the proper medium. But it's largely individualized, right? You know what makes you feel good, and what lets you be a good father, husband, streamer, and good at your job. I don't know what that's like.
Sure.
You know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Will make those own choices with the guidance of your own physician or your own whoever you trust, right? And that's the point that I'm trying to make. But I ultimately, it's whatever works for you. But I find, for me personally, that oversleeping, it doesn't do anything good for me personally.
Yeah.
But for some other people, maybe it does. So who am I to judge necessarily? And there's all kind of science that can point you towards this and that. But ultimately, there's a lot of people, whatever the metric that you judge success by, which there are many different metrics. I kind of judge it by are you happy with your life or not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are many aspects that you judge it by, and if you are able to accomplish that, then I think that you've done excellently in life.
Yeah, you definitely have to go and do the things that are going to chase your happiness. And that's actually another thing that I think is really important that a lot of people talk about who are successful. I'm gonna go back to the Gary Vee example of, who cares? Like, people chase stuff, and they shouldn't. They chase a car, they chase a house, they chase a giant TV, whatever. They chase stuff because they think that will make them happy, because it impresses the neighbors or someone else. They should instead be chasing their happiness and what makes them happy. There are people who work part-time and maybe do a whole lot of nothing in life to everyone else's observations, but they're happy, and they're probably happier than a lot of people out there who are running multi-million-dollar businesses and making millions of dollars themselves and are really miserable with life. So it's really important, and that's something that I think is really, really important to know and do, is to chase your happiness. Whatever brings you joy, to definitely do those things.
Yeah, like, as much as I would love to add on to that, I'm not really sure if I can add anything meaningful onto it. You have said it very, very well. Happiness is individualized, and I think that well, the only thing that I will add on is that for many of us, it takes a little bit of experience and a little bit of trial and error to figure out really what makes you happy and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, you gotta have those
know,
experiences.
we don't always know that, and so once you figure that out, I think then you're in a position to really say, well, so and so left this comment, so and so said this thing on my stream. Well, should I really care about that? Well, probably not, because I can go back on, well, what does my family think about me?
Yeah.
Like, what do my friends think about me? And you can go back and say, well, I'm an excellent partner to my wife or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I rely on that, and I say, well, then I've done an excellent job in my life, because I have made her very happy. So that would be the only thing that I would add, that was kind of contradicting what I said previously, which is that I won't add anything, but I think that you know what I mean. It is all in a good nature.
If we play another Doctor, I swear I'm going to refund this game on Steam.
Well, then do it, because I'm getting my butt kicked.
Oh my gosh! This is the third game in a freaking row.
I think that I took a slice. Oh wait, So does the red on the bottom left mean that you're bleeding, or that you're running, or
that means that I got hurt?
Oh, dead.
This is the third game in a row we went to Doctor. I hate Doctor. I hate playing against Doctor. It's the most annoying thing ever.
Fine, you don't want to have me back on. That's all that you. Oh shit! No! Wait a minute. Someone's coming in.
So this guy, the whole shocking thing that he does, one, it makes you go slower in everything that you do and gives you a whole bunch of distractions, but it also lets him know where you are, and it's the most annoying thing. I hate this guy with a passion.
So it's kind of like an AoE stun that reaches everywhere.
Haters, I'm gonna blame this one on you. The Doctor of the Borderlands directory is coming on the show, and then we just go against Doctors all game, every game.
I mean, I wouldn't.
It's a weird coincidence.
I wouldn't really go against that. Oh no!
Save me! That's me! What? Come back! What are you doing?
Oh,
come back!
No, shit.
Save me! What?
What do I do?
Don't run away from me!
I got you.
Jeez!
Don't ever say that I didn't do anything for you.
You were gonna leave me for dead.
You know what is awesome from a medical standpoint is that they stick the hook through you in your left side, which is medically correct. So I like that. But wait a second, you're repairing the horrible wound that you had to your heart and your aorta?
Heal me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know that I could do that.
Okay, I hate the Doctor. I hate him so much.
Does he get in your head?
He just, I hate him. There's no reason
snap
why.
Out of it, but it takes forever.
Try and snap out of it.
Oh, I see what I have to do though.
Yeah, he's gonna come find you. You've got.
Should I leave you so I can leave you live?
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just bad.
Let's try and not allow the Doctor Killer to destroy everything in our lives. It's hard,
so here's
but we can try and move past it.
Though. Should we talk about what to do if you're just really bad at certain games?
As long as you're having fun, I don't think it matters.
Oh yeah, then I am good to go, because I'm having an excellent time. But I did manage to time my mouse, so I got out of that. But then I left you for seemingly dead. When you took a hook through the heart, which is admirable that you're able to make it out of that. Oh boy. There's mental hurdles that we're overcoming here.
You need to go get this person off of their hook. All right. So, Haters, you have a podcast of your own, and you call it House Calls with Haters. And you've had now 5 episodes? 6?
I've had 8.
8 episodes. Wait, let
Oh,
me
I got
heal you,
slaughtered.
Claudette. Let me heal you. 8 episodes. Out of all of those episodes, who so far has been the most surprising guest that you have interviewed? Who's shocked you or been just came out with something that you totally didn't expect the most?
That I didn't expect. Wow, that's an excellent choice, or like an excellent question. I would say that I didn't expect, because I feel like I had a good handle on most everybody that I had before I had on the show, is Newt Matt, and I will say that because oh, I'm being chased by a.
That was me.
Wait a
I was
minute.
trying to heal you.
Oh, whoops! So I was running away from my. Man, am I bad at this? Oh, I didn't know if that was you.
Nope, that's not me.
Oh, I'm dead.
That's the murderous fiend who's trying to end your life.
I think that he may have ended it. Yeah. So most of the guest rate I have had a fairly decent handle on before I had on the show. But what I didn't understand was that Newt Mad. Oh no! I was hanged in the aorta. I would say that he surprised me the most with how down to earth he is, and how, oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Well, I'd like to heal you, but it won't let me. You need to snap out of it.
Oh, I think that I'm going mad soon though. Yeah, that he surprised me the absolute most. And this is not a reflection on anybody else, but we just sat and we had a conversation, like we were sitting there and talking to each other privately. And that was one of the biggest things that I felt like, oh boy. Oh, wait, oh no, oh!
That was the
I
best.
was hacked.
What?
Dude, this guy is like a Jason Voorhees. Like he
Oh.
Also, where does he manifest his hooks from? It's like he can manifest them from
The anomaly. The anomaly is the entity that, or I should say the entity? I don't know, whatever. That's what allows the killer to have its power. Oh, dang it. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, but I would say that if you want to ask me who the most shocking guest was, and not that I was totally shocked, but I would say that it was Newt Mad. He is, I just really can't say enough about one of the best creators in the game that is willing to just kind of sit with you and mentor you through so many different things.
That's cool.
And I'm just so grateful for it. And that's what shocked me the most. Like, that we had around and we had a conversation. It was not an interview like of any kind, and that I was really, really grateful for. So I would say is the most surprising moment of the house calls.
Nice. That's cool. So you did, I don't know how long ago it was, but the charity fundraiser you did, I saw a few interesting things about it. Number one, I watched you have a Ravens logo on your stream, which,
Yeah,
as a Steelers fan, I'm sure that was very enjoyable.
Do we have to go into that aspect necessarily?
Was there also some kind of some kind of incentive to go back and watch the best Ravens versus Steelers games, aka the games where the Ravens won those games.
Oh no, that would
playoff
take a lot more
battles
than I could
and-
reasonably ask.
Okay.
There's
So
only
there was a few moments during the charity fundraiser. So you had the Ravens logo on there. You got a pie in the face. Your wife got a pie in the face. That must have taken a lot for her to agree to. But
oh yes, it did.
But what was the charity for? What were you raising money for?
So we were raising money for the CDC Foundation, Center for Disease Control, in the U.S. And I mainly did it for a couple of reasons. I want charity to be part of the stream as kind of like a general concept. And I chose that particular foundation because I feel very strongly that most of us that we talk to, whatever kind of dividing lines that we might have, that COVID has had an impact on all. And there are very few causes that I feel like we can say that about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really went with this one, and I really want to give a shout out to Tweety Expert that really helped me shape this and give me direction as to how to go with this. And ultimately, what I've learned is with these charity endeavors, the absolute best thing that I could say is that you do what you say that you're going to do on your advertisement. And number two is that you be yourself.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that you drew motivation from Tweety Expert because of someone, and the reason is because you have to do the things that you commit to doing during a charity fundraiser.
So what I'm saying is that yes. I
have a whole world to enlighten you about here in a minute, but go ahead.
She absolutely kicked ass, and on her charity streams, and so I asked her specifically, and we had like a Discord conversation about how do you want to set this up, how do you do this. And ultimately, no matter what kind of advice, someone gives you, you have to walk through the door, right? So what I was, thinking was like, I don't really want to sing "I'm Too Sexy" on my stream, but if that's what happens, then that'll happen. And I was just like, you just go ahead, you embarrass yourself as much as you possibly can. And I felt that the biggest thing was that whatever you just commit to it and go for it. And fortunately, Mrs. Haterz is very willing to go for it with the pie in the face. She only didn't do the pie in the face. She did the Macarena, and she did a couple of other things afterwards that were way beyond what I would be willing or like really happy to expect. Like, she didn't have to do anything, but she participated. I was really happy about that.
So there's got to be a really, really rewarding moment when you surpass the mentors that you have chosen. And I want to let you know here and now, haters, that you have surpassed the mentor you have chosen in Tweety Expert. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because you fulfilled all of your charity obligations, correct?
I would say I surpassed them.
Okay, perfect. You set rewards out there. They were hit, and you fulfilled the promise, right?
Well beyond, friend.
Well beyond. Okay, great. So, surpassing your mentor, because I gotta tell you, there were a few different incentives that Tweety put on her stream that were not met. The chat did a great job. They hit the incentive. They went beyond, but those obligations have not been fulfilled. And
I don't believe it.
One of them is to create a meme TikTok video, a popular TikTok video. That hasn't happened yet.
That's on my desktop right now, actually.
Another one is to host a roast of Tweety Expert, and that hasn't happened yet. And as far as I'm aware,
those would be some fun moments.
Right? Yeah. You know, it's funny. The community really wanted to have that happen, and when the incentive was out there, they really banded together to pull through and get those ones on there. Yeah,
how do we roast someone that's so wholesome, though? It is hard to say, but there has to be a way. And I feel like it's absolutely possible. But here's one of the things, though, that we were going into it. When you're going into your first charity stream, and this was like 2 or 3 months into me streaming at all, I had no idea who would show up, how many would show up, what would happen. And so I had very low expectations, and we were blown away by it. And I just felt that I owed it to the community to and like, if you guys know me, and if you know Tweety Expert, she's, you could say, a little bit more outgoing than I am. I'm not the most outgoing person that has ever jumped onto Twitch previously. And so kind of jumping out of that shell was a thing, right? Like, so I was just like, you know, you're just gonna do it, and that's what you're gonna do. And I gladly made a fool out of myself, or at least I think. But it was rallying for the community, and the community just did an excellent job, and really that's what I owe it to. But I do love to kind of have a good-natured mess around with my mentor, Tweety Expert, who I will say that if it weren't for her, the whole charity stream probably wouldn't have happened at all. So be it she owe the community a TikTok or whatever she might owe, I will gladly forgive her that, because she has brought me much wisdom into delivering a charity stream. And you know what, like, if I look back on it, that's probably one of my favorite overall streams or times that I've had streaming in the 4 short months that it's been, where we just had so many different people come together, and where we were really rallying around a cause that really affects us all. And there are very few crises, or whatever you would want to call it, like a pandemic is obviously like an accurate word, where that can unify us as a world, basically, you know, other than COVID. COVID really impacts us all, and I had an absolute blast doing it.
So much.
And I will cherish the VODs and the meme. Oh, dude, Nikes I got. Oh, thank you. Oh no, I'm being picked up by
Don't take the killer, haters.
No. Dead. Oh boy.
Why can't I hear his? Oh goodness.
Despite the fact, thank you for lifting me off that hook, friend. Despite the fact that there may be a TikTok video that we are waiting on, if it weren't for Tweety Expert, that charity stream wouldn't have happened.
Well, at least she did that.
There's lots of gratitude.
That's awesome.
Lots and lots of gratitude.
It's cool. We like to give her a hard time.
But I love a good-natured troll whenever it's in a good nature. So yeah, like I absolutely am all in support of trolling our friends, and whenever they need it in a good-natured manner.
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, the heads just get so big, we have to bring them a little bit down to earth.
You have to bring them a little bit, just like a little bit. Yeah,
just a little bit.
We will happily do that if she needs it.
That's right.
Tweety, if you're listening now, you know what I mean. Well, you know Karma well, so yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I think it's a good time to probably open up the questions to the audience Q&A. So chat that I was watching live here at twitch.tv/BadKarma, or Haterz, you said that you're not live currently?
I am not live, sir.
Okay.
I am on your stream only.
So then it'll just come in through this chat here. We're gonna open it up for questions if you guys have any that you would like to ask HaterzMD. The first one that I've been told to ask you is tell me about what happened during your first run through of DLC 4.
Okay. I will tell you about the parts that I'm willing to talk about and that are appropriate to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Here's the big thing. So I ran through the whole DLC, and through the other DLCs, I hadn't really necessarily had the objective of doing it 100%, but I wanted to catch every piece of the storyline and catch everything. So I did all the side quests and all the side little shoot things, and I did that. And I normally back up my saves very, very carefully, and I wanted to really get.
Oh, I think I heard about this.
Level 65 wedding invitation. And I backed up what I thought was the right save, and I deleted my save that I completed the DLC on, and so I go back to my regular save, and there's no save. There is nothing. I just deleted my whole character, and I had nothing. And then little did I know that I don't really want to use a wedding invitation on Amara at all. So the whole terrible thing is that I completed it, and then I deleted it, and then we ended up getting back to Lilith in that same night after getting the anoints on the wedding invitations that I really wanted, which were Phase Cast and Phase Slam and some ASD or something of that nature, or like next 2 mags, which I don't really use on that particular character. But yeah, that was upsetting. So I played her the whole way through, and then I deleted her, and yeah, that was upsetting. I actually threw my fedora. I threw it on the ground. I said, "Holy smokes, this ain't right." Oh boy, I got crushed. I threw my fedora. I was not happy about that.
Yeah, I bet. I would be throwing a whole bunch of things too.
That's what happened on my very first DLC 4 playthrough. So I'm not shocked that you got that question out of it.
That was the one.
Of course it is.
I'm gonna die.
I think that I'm dead.
It's just a fact at this point.
Oh! I just took a couple of
Can't believe you missed that.
terrible projectiles to the abdomen and dead.
No, how did he get me? I'm so mad.
Man, am I bad at this so far. I have to play this.
Yeah, actually, there's a tutorial that you can go through that's pretty good because it walks you through all of the different mechanics in the game, and then once you have that, you're gonna understand. You'll want to go through the tutorial as the survivor and a tutorial as the killer.
Which I just want to point out something really funny though. Out of all the questions that could be asked, though, I do find it entertaining, and I'm laughing at myself now as the one question that we have from the chat is the reaction that I had after I completed DLC 4. Where those that have known me, when I really started streaming was when the Guardian Takedown came out. And there may have been a couple of rages during that particular time whenever I was not so good at the platforming. And I may have died once or twice where I have become known for falling off the platforms on that. So
The platform. I love platforming. I am a big
things
platformer.
happen, as they say.
Yeah, I'm a big platformer by heart, and so anytime there's a jump quest in a jump puzzle or jump quest in the game, platforming is involved at all. I freaking love it, and that's one reason why I like the Guardian takedown. I know a lot of people don't like it, and people think it's too long and whatever, but I am in love. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see him coming around the corner. I love it. Okay, question from Newt Matt, actually. How does Haterz like his steak prepared?
Yeah, so this is where I'm really scared that I'm gonna lose the audience. So the honest truth is medium well. Medium well to well. Now, if you want to give me the audience pleasing answer, a rare, but I like it done fairly well with just a hint of rareness, shall we? So that you can tell. But I largely, I'm a medium well kind of guy. So those of you that were counting on a better answer, I can sense the disappointment. Sorry about that.
Just tell me that you don't put ketchup on there.
Oh my goodness, no. Goodness, no. That would be absolutely terrible. Well, okay. Not to offend anyone that does put that on there. If you do, that's up to you.
Guys, don't put ketchup on steaks, please. Just don't. Just go get yourself a hamburger, put some ketchup on that. You'll be happier, and your wallet will thank you, and the meat eaters will have another steak that they can eat themselves.
Okay. What I will say is that I'm not my fabulous host, BadKarma. Yes, I echo that. But yes, if you don't like a steak red or bloody, I'm your guy, or your person. I do not necessarily like that.
Give me a good ribeye steak, medium rare.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm
except
talking
for
about.
medium rare. Oh my goodness, medium rare though. I would love to agree, but I wouldn't be honest, friend.
Oh, I love the medium rare. It's amazing. Okay, cool. Well, Haterz, I super just appreciate the crap out of you making time to come on to the House of Karma podcast. This is episode 3. Haterz, tell everyone where they can find you on all of the different social platforms.
Sure. The easiest place is to find me on Twitch TV / HaterzMD. From that point, you can find the Discord, you can find Twitter, you can find YouTube, which we are developing as of right now. We just posted a video today. So we are trying to branch out into several different media. So if you want to pop on over there and check out some of the content, I would really appreciate it. But most important, I would really like to thank our fabulous host, BadKarma, for having me. And as I mentioned with Newt Mad previously, as bad as I am at this game, and I would like to be good, which I'm not though. But I feel like we just sat and we had a conversation, and we had an excellent conversation. I just really want to thank you for an awesome time, and it was an absolute blast.
Yes. Oh, it's been a great pleasure to have you on. So thank you so much. Guys, this is going to do it for episode 3 of the House of Karma podcast. This will be up on YouTube soon, and then we will upload the audio to Anchor FM, where you can see it on Spotify, Anchor, and hopefully some other distribution channels relatively soon. Haterz, thank you again. You've been awesome. Guys, definitely go check out the Twitch channel and hang out with him. You will have an absolute blast. That being said, this is it for the podcast. See you later.